you to meet Dr. Kathleen Thompson, and a great conversation on cannabis and common questions. And we were just saying we're going to have a stigma bust, because I think there's a lot of information out there that is maybe wrong, I think. Can I say wrong? Or just people aren't hearing the whole story, I think, is what's happening. And, you know, neither here nor there. That's why I have you here, because I think you, and I had read from a former, years ago, you had an issue and you are dealing with pain management.
That's correct, Lisa. So pleasure to be here. And I think it's important to bust stigma. There are now, with the legalization of cannabis, there's many people who've benefited from cannabis use medicinally, who now are coming out of the cannabis consumption closet and owning our experiences. And that allows the medical world and our communities to better understand our experiences. So I had the unfortunate experience of having a serious car accident when I was 18. I turned 19 in a coma, had a very serious fracture of my skull and brain injury, and very horrible pain for months following that. And I was in the hospital, tried lots of opioids. Luckily, I couldn't tolerate them. I kept throwing them up. And I felt I would have a life of horrible pain. And then luckily I had a holistic-minded doctor, this is going back to the 80s, who suggested marijuana was the word they used then. And when I tried some, that instantly alleviated my pain. So that started a decades-long journey of being in the closet, of consuming cannabis to give myself a life. I would be dead by now if I had have been on opioids for over 30 years. So I think it's important to lobby for safe access and reducing stigma.
And I'm glad that you're sitting here, because I think people think, you know, pothead, all the words that come with that. And when I look at you, you're nothing. I mean, you're Dr. Kathleen Thompson, who needs it to manage pain.
And I run an international consulting company, and I work regularly with the United Nations. So I couldn't do this if I wasn't able to alleviate my pain. And so that's why I've come out as an advocate, and also as someone helping individuals get into the business who have an issue around accessing this product, but might have a problem with affordability.
Let's talk about access, because I know I hear so much of people are, well, there were so many licenses granted. I don't know how many actually got it. And then I hear they're always sold out. And then I feel for the people like yourself who have, how's your access?
Access is a real problem for people who have limited means. So we have over 100 licensed producers of cannabis in Canada, and a person who has the ability can get a medical recommendation and then can buy it online from any of those companies, providing you have the proper paperwork. But if you don't have the capacity for that medical support, if you don't have a doctor who is educated on the evidence, that's not something that's possible for people. And then in the province, the provincial governments are controlling the distribution. The federal government, through Health Canada, controls access to cultivation and processing licenses. And provincially, the licenses for distribution are with the provincial government. So our province did a private competition, which I thought was quite rigorous, and 51 licenses were issued, but there's been a lot of challenges with actually setting up. So there are only a small number of stores that are open right now, and so accessibility is really a problem for people, particularly with limited means, with disabilities.
And I even think of like, how safe is the product out there? If I'm buying it from one of these people that have licensed, I feel safe?
Absolutely. I'm a fan of making sure that Canadians who have disabilities have access to safe, affordable, tested products. And so it's great that we have these tested products, but they're not affordable at this point for low-income people. The price of the legal cannabis is about double or considerably more than the illegal cannabis. And so it's important that we provide compassionate pricing, that we have cannabis paid for on health insurance plans, and particularly on supplementary healthcare plans, which is coming. That will come in time. Cannabis doesn't yet have a drug identification number. There's a process of creating a pseudo-DIN, which will allow for some more funding. But right now, it's clumsy.
So I know our time is running out, because I have so much more to talk to you about, but where can people find more information
Right. So I'm here in the city. I have a consulting company, and my information will come up on the list. And I work with a Calgary-based consulting group, Arete Consulting, and we're helping people get into the industry and learn how to grow their own cannabis and get licensed to be part of this great business opportunity. It's the largest economy in the world.
Wow. Thank you so much for coming, sharing your personal story, and just allowing our viewers to hear maybe another side.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Dr. Kathleen Thompson. We were talking about cannabis. We were talking about access, safe use. You heard it all. For more information, you can follow up with her on her website. Kathleen's always here to answer questions for you. Well, stay with us, because next up and our final guest is the U of R Lifelong Learning Center. Tamara Tucker's here to tell us about the winter term.